Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Wisdom Tree reading with me, Shruti. So this week I'm using the Inner Child deck, and I'm also using a bunch of colored pens. So I've already chosen the cards for all the choices and also the pens, and now I'd like you to intuitively choose either 1, 2, or 3. So that's 1, 2, or 3. So if you chose number 1, then you get 2 cards, and they're kind of related. They're from the same suit, and there's kind of a theme running, which we'll get to. So the first one is the Nine of Swords. As you can see, there's a boy here, and he's trapped behind these swords. And there's also a dragon that symbolizes his fears. And it feels like he's unable to move, and he's unable to sort of pull the swords out and move out of this situation. And then the second one that you got is the Ace of Swords. And here we see King Arthur, and he's pulling out this sword from the ground. And basically, this is about claiming his power and claiming, it's about empowerment. We also see the two roses that are yellow. So yellow is again empowerment here. So what I also did is I made some notes for all of us in my notebook. So I'll be reading that out. So I feel that, if you chose number 1, then maybe recently you were called to do something, or you're being called now to do something that kind of makes you step out of your comfort zone in a big way. And, it might be something that's very challenging for you, but I feel that this is related to your divine purpose on earth at this time. So it's kind of like your destiny in a way. So the cards that you got, they relate to kind of the beginning of a new way of thinking and finding your power and the possibility of great energy, and it's kind of like a breakthrough energy. So obviously you're going through some very big changes right now, and like I was saying, you're being asked to step out of your comfort zone in a big way. So while you're making these changes, it might be that these fears come up and anxieties or worry. But the guidance is to know that whenever we have these worries, we're not actually in the present moment. And it's always when we're projecting into the future and thinking, what will happen and things like that, that it kind of takes us out of this present moment and sense of grounding. So your guidance is to ground yourself in the present whenever this happens, and know that, it'll be okay. And also to have patience with yourself as you're making these big changes as well. So the pen that you got is orange. So again, that's kind of related to this, because when I looked at this pen, I thought of the life force energy. Orange is the color of like tantric flow. It's like one of the colors of tantric flow, and being passionate about life. So and then also, the dragon is breathing out this fire here as well. So I feel that, your message is to sort of breathe life into the areas of those anxieties and any area of darkness that you feel, any area where you feel stuck. So it's also about kind of going within and finding that place of home within your heart, and to always come from that place in whatever you're doing. So, whatever it is that requires your courage at this time, you can move forward into that by coming from that place of home. Because when we come from that place within of being grounded, and that place of knowing who we are, then we infuse whatever we're doing or whatever we're saying with spirit and with life force, and so then it's always received well, and things turn out good because we're in the flow of the present moment, and we're grounded in the present. So hopefully that makes sense, that your guidance is just to be grounded and come from that place of home and come from that place of knowing who you are. Yeah. So if you chose number 2, then the one that you got is this one. It's the Seeker of Hearts. It has the Tin Man from Dorothy, from The Wizard of Oz. And we see that there's a dove flying in and bringing this heart to the Tin Man. And the heart is red and it has this green energy, this green cloth wrapped around it. And his heart space is open to receive it. So with this, when I first looked at this, I noticed the red heart with the green energy around it. So I feel that that this relates to something physical in your life, that it's kind of the energy of being on earth, living in the material plane. So it can relate to money, it can relate to your physical health, your sexuality, everyday living, survival, things like that. And I feel that there's something that you wanted or you desired, but you weren't able to do it, or that there's some sort of a pattern that keeps repeating and you want to move out of this old, but you're not able to. This could be an addiction or an old way of thinking that is preventing you from being in the physical plane the way that you want to. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I feel is that with this green energy around it, that there needs to be a shift energetically. So because the color green relates to like the emotional body, and so there's a need to kind of really go within whenever you have those feelings of restlessness or worry, anxiety, then to really go within and find out what's bringing up those feelings, what's bringing up that fear, and address it at an emotional level, and that will actually change things at a physical level as well. And doves, they symbolize good news, so it means that that it is coming to you, but you need to be open to receive it. And also we see here that the horse is wearing the colors of blue, purple, and red. So these are kind of the colors that I relate to the magician archetype. So I feel that your guidance is also to know that you know, you create your own reality, and to bring out that inner magician in you. And instead of like this victim mentality of the Tin Man, he looks kind of sad, to kind of claim that and know that you create your own reality. Yeah. It also, um, this feels like you're giving birth to a completely new you, because there's a new heart that's coming in, and the Tin Man, it's like he's getting a new lease of life from spirit. So it feels like a rescue energy. It's something like spirit is sending this heart, and there's kind of a rescue feeling to it. So any challenges that you're facing right now, something that used to work and is not working out anymore, is actually because you're shifting to a higher vibration. And so it's to see those things that are not working out anymore as blessings and as an opportunity for you. Yeah. So the pen that you get is this one. It's violet. And again, this symbolizes like a big transformation, dissolving the old kind of energy as well. So at this time, I feel that you're creating harmony in the areas wherever there isn't harmony in your life, especially in your physical life, um, at this time. And you're doing that by not brushing anything under the carpet anymore, any emotions that come up, any old that comes up, and by really looking at it this week. So now we're moving on to number 3. And if you chose number 3, then the one that you get is this. It's Beauty and the Beast, and this is the strength um, archetype in the tarot. So when I looked at this, what I first noticed was the woman in blue, and she looks like she's very timid. She looks like she's kind of demure, that kind of an energy. I also see the two doves that are flying. There's a dove flying above them, and she's holding one of them, and there's a little two bunnies here, and one of them is crying. So there's a feeling of kind of some grief as well. So what I feel is that because when I looked at her, I felt um, like she wants to say something, but she is not sort of prone to voicing her feelings. It's just the sense that I got. So I feel that your guidance this week is to kind of own up to your own desires and to be able to express them and put them out there for them to manifest. Because it feels like there was something that you wanted, or you wanted it to happen a certain way and then it didn't. So it's your guidance is to let go of such thoughts that keep running in your head and kind of ask for what you want instead. Because when we ask for something that we want, it's not just like asking spirit. It's We kind of move into that energy of saying, yes, I'm ready for this. And so then we have that embodiment, and then we can manifest it as well. So yeah. And doves, they symbolize good news. So I feel that it is coming for you, but you need to have an open heart about this. And so the pen that you got is also golden. So this is the color of the Christ consciousness, and for me it relates to being on the right path, and it relates to like golden opportunities as well. So so yeah, so I feel like things are just sort of coming into balance for you at this time, because we see here the male and female archetype, so it's kind of like things are balancing out. And and you may feel like you'll never get what you desire, but actually the events that are unfolding are leading um, to some good news for you. So don't lose that sense of mystery and magic. And because I noticed the female at the beginning when I first saw this card, I feel that it's about that feminine energy of receiving as well. So you need to be open to receiving and to being supported as well. Because sometimes we feel like we're doing everything on our own, and we're doing all this inner work, and we've had to make so many changes, and we are our own support and things like that. Um, but it's about being open to receive that support from spirit and from others as well. So there's a sense that you may have been disappointed in the past, because of something that happened in your past, um, and that's kind of blocking um, you from moving into this space of trust and being able to receive. So your guidance is to kind of let go of that and trust, that everything is happening in divine timing, and just to be open to receive. So yeah. So I hope that made sense, and I hope that all the messages resonated with you. And that's it from me. See you next week.